Here's why I'm not going to overreact to yesterday's loss. Okay. Number one, it's the first time you've seen this matchup against these two teams. I think there's a real benefit to playing the Golden State Warriors because if that is your first round matchup, now you got a little bit of data. You need some information. You need to know, okay, what's that starting lineup? When they go super small, what does it look like? Okay, how did Pajimski get all those shots off? How do you play him in the next matchup that you have? All right, how do you get Steph Curry off the three-point line or Pajimski off the three-point line? Okay, what do you do with the Lakers bench? How can they be more effective the next time they play them? All right, what are the kind of shots Luka was getting? How do we get him better looks? The good thing I think about last night's game, it's the first matchup that you've seen between these two squads. Now you got a little bit of data to work with. And for the most part, everybody was there for the Warriors and everybody obviously there for the Los Angeles Lakers. Okay, you can live with that, right? I think there's a little bit of if this was a 7-game set, and it wasn't, it was a regular season game, and you're playing the Golden State Warriors, now you could go back to the drawing board and say, okay, guys, here's what we got to work on. And they didn't have that before this game. The only data that they had is whenever Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry and Jonathan Kuminga, Draymond Green, all these guys, when they played other teams. And the same thing for the Golden State Warriors. You know, they obviously didn't have that much data on the Lakers as well. And it was, give Golden State credit. But that's one of the reasons why I'm not going to overreact. It's the first time these squads have played against each other. Are the Houston Rockets, who lost to the Lakers last week, is that it? Hey, we lost to the Lakers. We never have a chance against them again. No. Ime Udoka will go back to the drawing board. He'll start working on what he needs to work on, and they'll keep things rolling. And they'll get another chance to face the Lakers in the regular season. And if they get a chance to face them in the playoffs, and they'll go. Is Denver thinking, hey, that's it. We lost to the Lakers in that road game where Luka dropped whatever he did, and Lakers beat us by 23 at our home court. That's it. We don't have a shot against the Nuggets. No, it's just, all right, got something to work with here. That's one of the reasons why I'm not overreacting from yesterday's game. One of the things that I also already mentioned, another reason why I'm not overreacting, Pajimski is not going to score 28 again. He's not. And he's not going 8 of 10 from the three-point line. I mean, he had the game of his life yesterday. They started the game. Before you sat down at Crypto.com Arena and you took off your jacket and you got comfortable, the dude already had 3 threes. And I'm being literal. The first 3 buckets for the Golden State Warriors were 3 threes from Pajimski. I want to say he had over 20 points in the first half. That ain't happening again. He might have good nights here and there, this and that. Okay. And you know what? Maybe what you could say if you want to make the argument, yeah, well, Jimmy Butler's not having another game too where he only has 11. All right, that's a much different case to make. That's a much different argument to make. But the offense for the Golden State Warriors was pretty much flawless. You can't shoot almost 50% from the field, 45% from the three-point line, 84% from the free throw line, and think to yourself, yeah, our defense is good enough to win, or our offense is good enough to outpace that. You're not outpacing that. I don't think they're going to do that 4 times in a 7-game set. Again, I could be wrong. I genuinely mean this when I say it. 4 out of 7, they might be able to do that. They might be able to do that. And we'll talk about if these two teams faced each other. I thought the second half, Lakers, the right effort was there. They played hard. They couldn't get a key stop when they needed to. They couldn't get an offense or a defensive rebound, tip outs, every single loose ball went the Golden State Warriors' way. That's another reason why I'm not going to overreact. Okay, that's an area Lakers got to improve on. Luka and the bench were awful. Is Luka going to have another game? And if he does, then, we might as well be getting ready for Cancun. Start booking your trip right now to Cancun. If Luka's going to go 6 of 17 from the field, 0 of 6 from the three-point line in 38 minutes of play, is he going to be that bad against the Golden State Warriors again? I got to imagine that he's not. Superstars have bad games, but then they follow it up with great games because that's what makes them superstars. There's another reason why I wouldn't overreact to last night's game. The bench had a total. These are 3 guys I really, really like having off the bench for the Lakers. Dorian Finney-Smith, Jared Vanderbilt, and Gabe Vincent combined for 7 points. Me and 2 others on the chat right now, whoever wants to go play with me, can have 7 points as well. They were bad yesterday. Dorian Finney-Smith was bad yesterday, offensively and defensively. Gabe Vincent was bad yesterday. Those are two guys that hit 12 threes against the Rockets. The Rockets were probably sitting there right now saying, that's the performance they got from Gabe Vincent and Dorian. Where the hell was that when the Lakers were playing the Rockets? They were bad yesterday. The bench was a complete non-factor, including Jordan Goodwin. Just a complete non-factor. Is that going to happen every single night? There's another reason why I don't overreact. The last reason why I wouldn't overreact to yesterday's loss against the Golden State Warriors. I think people they'll probably get upset at this one, but it's sort of the truth. I'm just popping up the standings as we sit here. They have sort of a cushion that they built themselves. Sort of a cushion. Not a lot, but a little bit of a cushion. Let me tell you what I mean by that. All right, you lost yesterday. Golden State's still 2 games behind you. Denver has to go to Golden State tonight. All right, if Denver wins that game, then maybe it's a different conversation. If Lakers take care of the Pelicans tonight and the Golden State Warriors keep rolling and they beat the Denver Nuggets, I don't even know who's playing for Denver, right? We know that they've had injury issues. They rested, I think, Nikola Jokic, most of their starting lineup after they lost that double overtime game to Minnesota. Let's see what happens in this game tonight as well. Because if things go the Lakers' way tonight, they can move back up to the number 3 spot and still have a 2-game cushion because they have the tiebreaker on the Golden State Warriors. And now you're kind of telling yourself, all right, the Lakers, they're still in an okay position. I think overall for me, was it a tough loss? Was it a critical loss? Sure, the whole thing. I don't know how much I'm going to overreact to it. I do feel like that the Lakers, I do feel that this team is good enough, smart enough, hungry enough that they lost against a good team in the Golden State Warriors, and I thought a lot went the Warriors' way. All right, let's take a look at some of your comments here. Let's see how many people are cursing me out. Let's see what we got here. All right, let's see what we got here. Ernie 76. Ernie, thank you, brother. Appreciate you being a part of the show. Ernie was on the post-game show yesterday. Now here he is on the morning show. Geez, Ernie's working as much as I am here. He's an investor. Thank you for the super, brother. Slee, we need a big spark off the bench. LeBron and Luka enough. AR off the bench would ignite them. A la Lamar Odom thoughts. I'm going to say this, and I don't think the team is going to overreact to one loss. But I've said from the beginning, I liked the idea and the concept of having Austin Reeves come off the bench. I've liked that idea. Now, LeBron got hurt. You had to obviously have Austin Reeves. Yesterday was the first game that I actually felt like LeBron looked more like himself. So I think that's obviously important. That's key. That's actually something that I don't think we're really talking enough about. LeBron did look like himself yesterday. Here's LeBron's stats from last night. 10 of 15 from the field. LeBron had 33 and 9 yesterday on 15 shot attempts. Luka, 17 shot attempts, 2 more shot attempts than LeBron, and he only had 19. Big, wild difference between the two teams. And LeBron said at postgame that he felt like his legs were feeling a little bit better. It's the best he's felt since he's been back, and it's the best he's looked. So, sometimes you could feel good, but maybe the performance wasn't all that. LeBron looked good yesterday, and he felt good, is what he said in the postgame show. Let me go back to what I was saying about there was a time where, you had to obviously have Austin Reeves in that starting lineup. I have said this before, that having AR come off the bench, I think would be a really unique way for the Lakers to say, okay, we got enough offense. Now we got some spacing. We got enough scoring. And we have another defensive presence. I would use a guy like Dorian Finney-Smith in that position. But I don't know if they're going to do that. I think they're going to go with what they have. And a lot of that is also going to be predicated on LeBron was out or wasn't 100% healthy, and I think they felt like they needed to have AR there. AR, hypothetically, and I want to make sure people understand this, let's just say AR came off the bench. AR still going to get you 32 to 35 minutes a night, 35 minutes a night. He's going to play as much as LeBron and as much as Luka. It's just more kind of the strategic factor of how you use him. Some of the all-time greats, Hall of Famers, have come off the bench. It's not the Manu Ginobili's of the world, and I'm not comparing him to Manu, but strategically, sometimes it makes more sense if you can have that type of player coming off the bench. But I don't think they're going to do it. I really don't. I just don't think that's going to happen. Ernie, I appreciate the super brother. Let's see what else we got here. Okay. All right. Got people bitching and complaining about LeBron and Luka playing together. Okay. Take a drink. What do we got? Take a drink every time Slee says, let's see what we got here. That's like that's my buffer. That's my in-between. You know? That's when I stop talking and then I start to see if let's see what we got here. All right, let me look at a couple more comments here, and then I think let me throw this out to everybody here real quick. Let me throw this out. 7-game set, Lakers and the Warriors. Guys, let's just say this is it. This is the first round. Lakers and the Warriors. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about a 7-game set, Lakers and the Warriors? This is why, I've said this, and here's my genuine thought on it. It's a toss-up. It means, let's see, playoffs start, I think April 20th, April 21st, April 20th, I think 420. I think that's when I can have coffee as well. I'm not going to have coffee until the Monday. Monday is when I'm going to have coffee because I'm going to have coffee with you guys. We're going to all sit down, have a cup of coffee together. That will be 50 days without coffee. Lakers and the Warriors in a 7-game set, I think is 100%. I think is a toss-up. This is why I keep saying I don't want to see him in the first round. This is why when you go look at this is why it's so key to try to get out of this number 4 spot. And by the way, you lose enough games here, you're going to fall to the number 5. And you wouldn't even have home court in the first round. But this is why I think it's so critical that you try to get out of that first round. Listen, if you got Warriors in the first round and then OKC waiting for you in the second round, it might not be the longest of playoff runs. If you strategically, in the first round you have Memphis, and then I don't know, you got Memphis, and then in the second round you got Houston. Okay, now we're talking about a little bit more extended of a playoffs, and then you could kind of figure out what happens from there. Let me keep going on this. What do you think Lakers and the Warriors on a 7-game set? Last night they come into your house. They get a W. They would be very, very, very tough on the road. We obviously all remember the X factor for the Lakers in the pass against the Warriors was Anthony Davis. Okay, well, he's no longer there. Both teams would make adjustments. It's going 6 or 7. I mean, it's going to be an incredibly tough series, but I think it would be a toss-up. All right, thank you very much for watching the clip. Just want to give a shout-out here to one of our partners, the Wallace Firm. They are official injury attorney of the Sliwa Show and Hoops Talk, the entire channel. If you are ever in a need, and I hope you're not, but some type of serious injury with yourself or a family member of yours, I would like to personally help you by introducing you to the best in the business, Brad Wallace and the Wallace Firm. Also got a URL out here that you can use as well. Just go to wallacewins.com/Sliwa. Thank you for their partnership, and thank you for being a part of the Sliwa Show.